This is Internet Marketing. Brought to you by SiteVisibility at sitevisibility.co.uk. This is Internet Marketing. Now, before we start today, a bit of shameless self-promotion, because SiteVisibility have recently published the Ultimate Content Promotion Guide. It's their most comprehensive guide to date, and in it they break down all of the content marketing tactics, tricks and tools you'll ever need to help you achieve content marketing success. You can download the guide plus a handy printable content promotion checklist for free by going to bit.ly/ultimate-content. Well, today I'm joined by Magnus Unemyr from Eonship Inc. in Sweden. I just about got that. Did I say it all right, Magnus?
Yeah, a little bit slow, but
yeah. Well, hopefully the editor will remove all of the gaps and make it sound like Andy, like the beautiful flowing Scandinavian accent. So now Eonship Inc. is terrible pronunciation. That's in the sunny south of Sweden, isn't it? That's below Stockholm, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it's about 300 kilometers south of Stockholm, or 1.5 hours drive east of Gothenburg. It's a very nice and scenic area. And
you're on the edge of it's a huge sort of long, thin lake, isn't it? What's that called?
Yes, it's Lake Vättern. It's one of the deepest lakes in Europe. It's 124 meters deep, and I believe the fifth largest freshwater reservoir in Europe.
Good grief! Yes, it does look a bit like a lock from space. Not that I've been in space, just using Google Maps, to be honest with you.
Yes, I think so.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're up to.
So I have been in the international software industry for 25 plus years, and I have been working in the microprocessor semiconductor chip industry in the last 20 years or so as a marketer. And in the last 15 years, I was the co-founder and co-owner of the company in the Internet of Things space, acting the vice president of sales and marketing. Since a year and a half, I am now a marketing automation consultant, author, and speaker, focusing on marketing automation and artificial intelligence.
Now, it's a fascinating area, which we have covered quite a lot recently on the podcast, this whole area of, marketing automation, and you are a marketing automation consultant. And you have written a book, haven't you? Just briefly tell us about that book.
So I've actually written 5 books, but the last one is called Data-Driven Marketing with Artificial Intelligence. And it's about how to use, or what you can do with AI in terms of marketing. And the book outlines hundreds or a couple of hundred different ways to use AI in marketing. Some of the areas is quite astonishing, quite frankly.
Yeah, because I was blown away because I thought I knew this area reasonably well. And I was sort of looking through your book, and I didn't actually realise just how many different areas of marketing that machine learning and AI actually touches. I just wondered if we could talk about that for a bit, because things like, there's the obvious things like sort of, content and content creation, but then there's some slightly less obvious areas, aren't there? Predictive pricing, I don't think I knew so much about that.
I think you use it. Every day, every time you buy an airplane ticket, probably. But but
you don't realise, do you? Because you're on the buyers on the other end, they don't realise quite what's going on, the sort of the business end of it.
I think the most surprising use of AI in marketing is a tool I found when I did the research for the book that understands how public speeches are made and scores different public speeches and tell the speaker how to improve their stage performances. And that is fairly far out. I think I did not believe before writing the book that AI could actually help improve public speeches.
Yeah, so presumably it's using speech recognition, is it? And sort of phrase recognition?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, because you mentioned that you were involved in the Internet of Things. And just for anyone that doesn't know, Internet of Things are sort of smart devices that can talk to the internet, things that didn't used to be able to talk to the internet. I think the classic one that everyone mentions is a fridge, isn't it, that sort of orders food when it gets things. But of course, Internet of Things, the things don't have to be in the home; they can be anywhere, can't they? Tell us a bit about how that sort of links to marketing automation.
Yes, to start with, it has been predicted that there will be about 1 trillion internet-connected machines by 2025. So that's quite a lot. And this is everything from devices we have in the homes, like the fridge, as you mentioned, or the microwave oven, or the burglar alarm, or the bathroom scale, for example. I've had an internet-connected bathroom scale for, I think, now 5 years.
Yes.
But it is also, millions and millions of industrial sensors and machinery in factories, cars, and in fact, even farmers' fields and livestock is now internet-connected and monitored for health in terms of pigs and cows, for example. So it's quite amazing to see where where we are getting now with Internet of Things and internet connected devices.
And how do you see the future? Because so are you of the school of thought that we're going to be seeing the delivery of ads and marketing based on sensors? Like, for example, if it realizes that sort of you are walking past a certain shop and you earlier search for something that shop does, and it might bring up an ad and things like that.
Yeah, I think it will go far further than that. So if you have internet connected devices or machines, for example, a coffee machine or a washing machine, that machine will predict when it is running out of coffee beans or detergent, and it will automatically order refillment such that there is always new coffee beans or detergent sent home in time before you run out of a previous batch, for example. So we will not only have ads that are driven by how machines operate, but we will have automatic reordering as well. So you will not have to worry about when to order new coffee beans, because the machine will order them when needed.
Yeah. One of the things that is probably more well known with AI and machine learning is the sort of automation of content generation, if you like, which is, I don't think we've spoken about it so much on the show more recently, but it's something that goes on, isn't it?
Yes, and there are 3 different technologies, AI-based technologies that are of interest here. So there is something called natural language understanding, natural language processing, and natural language generation. So NLU, NLP, and NLG. And with natural language processing, we can do machine understanding of text on a basic level. So, for example, a grammar checker could understand the structure of the text using AI with NLP or natural language processing, but it doesn't really understand the intent of the text. So one level up would be NLU, or natural language understanding, where an AI robot or AI software will actually understand what the text is all about and the intent of the text. And then we can generate text with NLG, or natural language generation. And often these auto-generated texts are generated in response to incoming text, which is understood by NLU. So an example is obviously the chatbot, where you type some question, which is understood, and then we get an auto-generated response. But it can also be a chat robot that actually works over email. So if someone sends an email to sales@mycompany.com, where it's not a sales guy that actually opens and reads the incoming email, there is an AI robot that parses the text and understands the meaning of the incoming email and auto-generate a suitable response. And therefore, there can be an email exchange where emails are sent forwards and backwards several times between some customer or potential customer and a chat robot. Yeah, so I think that we will see a lot of improvements in terms of natural language understanding and natural language generation in the years to come. To some extent, some of these software solutions are not yet perfect, so you can notice that the text is a little bit off topic or doesn't really have a personal touch to it. But give it a few more years and you will probably not be able to understand whether or not a text is generated by a machine or by a human being.
It's funny you should mention that, because I remember the very first time I saw any sort of computer-generated text. I think it was using Bayesian analysis. They'd run like the entire works of Shakespeare, or it might have been the Harry Potter novels through this machine that tried to work out that if you give it a word, it tries to work out the most likely next word. And it came out with some hilarious looking Shakespearean sort of dialogues. And that must have been about 10 years ago. And then about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I read an article about, I think it was sort of sports articles, like, describing a football match or a rugby match. And it was completely generated by a computer. And I remember reading them and thinking, I can't tell the difference between this and a human being.
I think that many magazines now use a lot of robot journalism to auto-generate articles. But so far, I think it is mostly simple articles, as you say, football match results, the weather, the stock market, but not really, full-length, in-depth articles so far. But we will probably get there as well. But I think most daily newspapers today use AI robots to auto-generate short articles for, sports results or weather reports or the stock market data.
Tell us about the course, because you've just completed writing a course, haven't you? Tell us about that briefly.
Yes, so it's called Marketing Automation Made Easy, and it's an online video course on, in this case, more traditional marketing automation. It's not so AI focused, but the course is trying to teach traditional marketing automation to let people understand what you can do with marketing automation and how to do it and what you can expect from it. I have understood in the last couple of years that there is a lot of people, even marketing professionals, that still don't know what marketing automation is or what it can do or what they can expect from it. So with this course, I try to correct that.
And if you could provide us with a link at the end, that'd be fantastic. Now, if you had one top tip or a key takeaway for our audience today, Magnus, what might it be?
So since I work with marketing automation, it would probably have been expected that I would say that marketing automation is the most important thing to dig into, and to some extent that is still true. But in my mind, integrating the marketing automation system with external IT systems is what brings true power to the marketing automation logic. So I would say that marketing integration, where you integrate several or many IT systems together into a coherent system or concept, is actually the way to go. So I would vote for more marketing integration, not just marketing automation.
Magnus, thanks so much for coming on. How can our listeners find out more about you?
So my website and blog is to be found on unemyr.com. And that is a good place to start. And my social media accounts can be found from there as well.
Well, thanks, Magnus, and thanks for listening, everyone. The show notes will be in the usual place, sitevisibility.co.uk/IMpodcast. If you're enjoying the show, please leave us a review. If you've got questions or suggestions, the email is podcast@sitevisibility.co.uk. You can tweet at SiteVisibility. We have a Site Visibility group on LinkedIn. So that's all from Andy. And it's all from Magnus.
And thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure, Magnus. Thanks for coming on. And we'll see you next time on Internet Marketing.